time. But one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition. Streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
Yes, it is indeed time for the First Federal program on a beautiful Friday morning. I mean, it could be a little warmer, but it is March, and we're joined now by Tanner Lee from First Federal. Good morning.
Morning, Paul. It's spring.
Yeah.
Like you said, don't really feel like it, maybe,
No.
in some
But
instances out there, but
it is March Madness.
it is March Madness. Dark this morning, but
Yeah.
the
Starting to
sun's
come up.
starting to get light. I don't even know if it's supposed to be sunny today, but we're getting some light over there.
I don't know. I just had the weather forecast up and I closed it.
But it is springtime. What's some of your favorite activities to do in spring, Paul?
Just get outdoors, get the yard cleaned up from, the winter, and get the pool set up.
Yeah, those are good things to do. I know one of my friends, he's real into lawn care. He's already mowed already.
Yeah.
He mowed a little, I don't know if it was early this week. I think it was last week, maybe late last week.
Yeah, I've heard of several people
I'm not
their
there
lawns
yet.
already. Neither am I.
I'll wait till I have to.
I'll wait for both neighbors to get done when both yards beside me have been mowed.
There you go. There you go. Well, one of my favorite activities in spring is to get out on the golf course, play some golf. And excited that our guest today is Lee Cutting, head golf pro at the Round Barn Golf Club at Mill Creek. We'll be speaking to him later on in the program. Got some exciting things to go.
Yes.
So, but speaking of golf, I brought some golf trivia with me this morning for you, Paul.
Great.
Golf balls were originally made from what? Wood, feathers, and leather, rubber, or gutty? Gutty.
I feel like I should know this.
Well, I'll let you have all show to think about it.
Uh-huh.
How about that?
Yeah. Lee, if you have any clues, feel free to drop them during the show.
That's a tough one.
It is.
That's
it's not the easiest one I've ever
Instinct tells you one thing, but
yeah,
that's a tough one.
But yeah, well, you said it's March Madness. We're definitely in. The NCAA tournament started yesterday.
Yes.
The games last night got really good, the late games. Before that, the BYU-Duquesne game was probably the best game going for a while. A lot of games were close till halftime, and then the favored seed usually would pull away pretty easily in the second half. But the games last night got real good. We got one big upset. Number 3 seeded Kentucky went down to 14 seeded Oakland. First time Oakland's ever made it to the round of 32, to the second round. They're a program, they've been a good mid-major for a long time as far as getting into the tournament, scheduling bigger opponents in the non-conference, so they're ready for March. But unless you're a Kentucky fan, I don't think it hurt you. As far as, it probably hurt a lot of brackets, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
As far as your fandom, it probably didn't hurt you unless you're a Kentucky fan. See Kentucky go down. And I've been a proponent for at least the last handful of years in this opinion with that Kentucky head coach John Calipari. Nobody does less with more talent than John Calipari, because he gets the most talented players, more McDonald's All-Americans almost every year than anybody else. But lately, he's not getting it done in March. I think he's 1-4, if not 1-5 in his last 6 games. 1-4 in his last 5 games in March. So I don't know if he's going anywhere. I read last night his buyout's $33 million. That is very, very high. I know Kentucky's got a lot of boosters, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he is back. That seat's just going to keep getting warmer, though, for him. And that, like my Boilermakers, they play tonight. 1 seed against 16 seed Grambling, and they lost to 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson last year. That pressure can mount on you. That's where I was trying to get with that. So feel it as fans, but you don't feel it anywhere close to what the players and coaches actually feel. So
right.
So we'll see what Kentucky does next year. They'll be loaded again, but something's got to change down there. Like I said, Purdue plays tonight against Grambling State, who beat Montana State in one of the 4 playing games on Wednesday night. That game is tonight at 7:25 on TBS.
How nervous are you?
I'm not nervous right now. It's weird. I mean, I'm sure I will be when the game tips off. Being in Indianapolis, that helps me give me some confidence because I think there'll be 90-ish%, if not more, Purdue fans in there tonight. That helps, but I didn't think they'd lose to Fairleigh Dickinson last year. I know this is a different Purdue team, even though they have a majority of the roster back from last year. They're a different team this year than they were last year. But anything can happen. That's what's crazy about March Madness, crazy about the NCAA tournament. All it takes is being on fire one night and the other team being cold, and we're turning a lot of turnovers, and got yourself a Cinderella upset. So, but it's going to be a fun, full day of games today. We'll see. I'm sure there'll be a few upsets today that'll
I'm sure.
maybe break some brackets. But did you fill out a bracket this year, Paul?
No.
Okay.
This year I am shooting for that perfect bracket. Since I don't follow along, I'm filling it out as the games happen.
All right,
so that way,
good strategy.
Maybe when we get to the final four, I'll go from there.
All right. Give yourself a 25% chance from there.
Until then, we're just filling it out after the games happen.
Well, I filled out. I did a different strategy this year. I did one bracket, but entered it multiple entries, tournaments, that type of thing. Usually I'll do 2 or 3 different ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I did one. My wife did one. And she's beating me through one day, and she let me know that a couple times throughout the day yesterday.
Yeah, we'll probably get a couple more of those today.
Yeah. So far, my championship, Final Four, and Elite 8 are intact. Sweet 16, not so much. We'll see what happens today. And I want to give congratulations to one of my high school classmates, 2010 Rochester High School graduate, Garrett Weiniger, who's the head coach of Fisher's boys basketball team. They won semi-state last week, so they're advancing to the state championship, where they'll play Ben Davis next Saturday down at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's the 4A state championship game. So it's been fun to watch Garrett these last few years, taking over the Fisher's program, and became sectional champions for the first time in school history this year, then regional champs and semi-state champs. One more to go.
Only one.
So, and they've only lost one game this year.
That's got to have you kind of torn, right? Isn't Ryan Johnson down at Ben Davis?
He is, Ryan Johnson.
Good luck to both of them.
So yeah, good luck to both of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
so
cool.
it's gonna be fun to follow some Rochester connections there.
Right.
Got some tidbits here this morning, Paul. On this day, in 1870, Ohio State University was established, or as they like to call themselves, the Ohio State University.
Yeah, well,
They tried to copyright the word "the" a couple years ago. Didn't get too far, but they tried.
No, that'd make things
That'd be
a little hard.
something, would it? On this day in 1963, the Beatles released their first album. Can you tell me what that album was called?
No.
Please, Please Me.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Should have known.
I thought you would. You're a music junkie.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting death glares from.
I've asked you this, but I don't remember your answer. Are you a Beatles fan?
I like a couple songs, but I never got into Beatles.
No. My mother-in-law's a big Beatles fan. So. On this day in 1979, the NHL voted to accept 4 WHA teams. They were the Edmonton Oilers, who are still the Edmonton Oilers to this day. The Winnipeg Jets, who were the Winnipeg Jets until the mid-90s. Then they moved to Phoenix, became the Arizona Coyotes, I think they're called now. They were Phoenix Coyotes, not Arizona. Then the Atlanta Thrashers in 2011 left Atlanta, went to Winnipeg, and became the Jets again. So kind of like the Browns, here, there, moved. The Quebec Nordiques, who in the 1990s became the Colorado Avalanche, and the Hartford Whalers, who in the 1990s became the Carolina Hurricanes. So, of those 4 teams, Edmonton's the only one that came and stayed.
Yeah.
So, but interesting there. And we got some days today, Paul. Today's World Water Day. National Goof Off Day. So you can tell your boss today.
Yeah, I know how that go with everything I got going on.
As Young as You Feel Day. And Bavarian Crepes Day. You ever had crepes?
Once. Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
In the middle, they were okay. It's probably because I made them, so they weren't that good.
I've had crepes before too, but not Bavarian crepes.
Okay.
We got some upcoming events going on around the community. The 31st annual FFA consignment auction will be held tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the fairgrounds. Consignment items will still be taken today.
Okay.
So should be a good event. The 31st annual. It's usually a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And I see the Times Theater is going to have a fun event going on tomorrow, March 23rd, Saturday. The music of Pink Floyd lives on through echoes of Pompeii, I think is how you pronounce it.
Pompeii.
Pompeii, thank you, Todd. P-O-M-P-E-I, Pompeii.
Yeah.
It's comprised of an 11-piece band orchestra. Echoes of Pompeii bring the true sound of Pink Floyd to life. Not only through sound do they live on, but through visuals as well. Experience Echoes of Pompeii tomorrow night. Tickets are on sale now. Doors open at 6 p.m. There will be a cash bar and concessions. So if you're
Okay.
looking for something fun to do, or if you're a big Pink Floyd fan, go check that out at the Times Theater tomorrow night. I want to give some flowers this morning to the Fulton County Chamber of Commerce for taking on the Red Hot Car Show this year on top of the Chili Cook-Off.
Yeah.
That was announced earlier this week, so I knew the Blacktop Cruisers weren't gonna do the Red Hot Car Show, so I know a lot of people around the community were concerned what was gonna happen with that. The Chamber stepped in and it'll
Yes,
take
they
over.
did.
So
Yeah.
it's very exciting. It's a great day. I believe it's gonna be October 12th this year, if I read that correctly. My mind,
I think so.
I'm wrong, I think, because that's what I think I read. So
Yeah.
if not, blame me if the date's wrong, but I believe it's Saturday, October 12th. It'll be a great day of seeing some great cars come in the community, and of course, some great chili to eat.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Paul will be busy that day as well.
Probably.
That's right. Well, today at First Federal, we're open from 8:30 until 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. But if you can't come see us during bank hours, no worries. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile app, which is free to download. Whether you have an Android device or an iPhone, you can get it on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Just type in First Federal Savings Bank, look for the white star with green background. And our ATM's also open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. And if you're traveling, I know spring break's going on, so if you're traveling this weekend and you're in an area where there's not a First Federal ATM, no need to worry. You can get on the MoneyPass network. We're part of the MoneyPass network, so go to moneypass.com, type in your location by zip code, and then it will show you which other ATMs around the area are on the MoneyPass network, and you can use that ATM without getting charged a surcharge.
That's good.
Yes.
Good.
We got a few CD. We got one CD special still going on, and we introduced a new rate this week for another CD. We have our 8-month CD special still going on at a 4.99% APY. That's annual percentage yield. And our 18-month CD is now at a 4.06% APY. So we'd love to open one of those up for you. So come and see one of our tellers, and we'll get that rolling. We also have a few mortgage specials going on. We have a closing costs special going on. We have a construction special going on, and a second-hand mortgage special going on. So contact any of our experienced loan originators for more details on those. And in the Rochester, Winamac area, that'd be Stacy Wilson and Ben Bolton. And we offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. When you open up a new checking account, you'll get a free gift, which right now is a Martha Stewart muffin pan, which I brought in a couple weeks ago.
Yes, you did.
So it's a nice steel muffin pan, and so if baking's your thing, open up a Simply Free checking account and get one of those. And if you want that, but you don't want to open up another checking account, you can still get it with referring a friend. You can do that online or in person. So
Tell them Paul Sargent sent you.
tell them, Paul, just got to work one of these weeks.
I know. I keep waiting for it to show up in the mail.
We also offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And if you're thinking about retiring or want to check on your 401k or get a 401k started or roll over from a previous employer, talk about IRAs, those sorts of things, contact Mark Global or Brian Bell of our Financial Services Department for more information. Their direct line is 574-223-1705. And keep up to date with First Federal, what's going on, and the latest around the bank by following us or liking us on Facebook, following us on X and Instagram at FF Banking is our handle on those two social media pages. Like us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can see an archive of the past 4. I always forget if it's 4 or 5 years. I think it's 5 years actually. First federal radio
I
show.
think so now. Yeah.
So you can see different slew of guests we've had over the years, as well as the transformation of this beautiful studio we're standing foot in right now.
Yeah.
We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us
That makes us legal and ready for the fun part of the program, which is we get to interview our guests, which our special guest today is Rambar Golf Club out of Mill Creek head golf professional Lee Cutting. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And I know you joined us last year about this time
Yep.
on the First Federal Radio Show, but for all the listeners out there or Facebook viewers that might not be familiar with you, why don't you give us your background a little bit and how you came about to the position you're at?
Yeah. Obviously, my name is Lee Cutting. I'm the head golf pro at the Roundmore Golf Club. This is year number 4 for me as the head pro.
Time's flying.
It has. Yeah, it has fun. So basically, I got introduced in the game of golf at an early age. Was kind of just a passion of mine. Had the opportunity back in 2014 to purchase my own golf course with a couple of business partners. Which we did endure that opportunity. Ran that for about 5 years. Sold my portion back to my business partners. Went back to the medical field, and the city of Rochester graciously reached out to me to see if I was interested in pursuing the open head pro position here, and met with them, and here we are. So back in the business, loving it. Like I said, I always had a passion for the game and just teaching other individuals how to play the game, growing the game, and just the knowledge that and everything that comes with the game. So,
Yeah, how familiar were you with Rambar Golf at Mill Creek before you took the position?
really not real familiarized with it. We played it a little bit in high school, but being from Huntington area, I wasn't real familiarized with the round barn, and glad I did come over and speak with them about the opportunity, because I'll tell you, it's a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize how lucky the town of Rochester, or how lucky we are to have, so to speak, that nice of a golf course here in town. I mean, it's and some people come in from out of town and they play it and they're like, holy cow, I didn't even know this was here, for one, and I didn't know that it was the layout and the condition of the golf course, and so that gives us a lot of pride. So.
I know I always chuckled when I played for the Zebras in high school. Our opponents, more times than not, always complained how much they didn't enjoy playing the course because of the difficulty. And that's something, as living in Rochester and growing up playing the course, you kind of take it for granted because it's your home course. You get used to it. But
you do,
you forget
yeah.
the challenges it brings to people who don't play it.
Yeah, I would agree. It's funny because, like I said, I still live in Huntington,
Mm-hmm.
and the Huntington North high school team comes over here and plays in a couple of events every year. And I hear them moaning and groaning leading up to the event.
Especially on the front
We got to play round bar. There's so much water over there. It's so tough, and you're right. It does kind of make me chuckle because I could see how it would play tough, but just the aesthetics and the beauty of the golf course in itself, I feel like I said, it's kind of a hidden gem, and we're really lucky to have it.
It's definitely one of those courses you need to have some course knowledge.
Oh,
It's hard
absolutely.
to play for the first time, especially in a tournament setting.
Absolutely.
Tournament setting. So, like you mentioned just a few minutes ago, this is year 4 on the job.
Yep.
How was 2023 looking back on it compared to maybe say 2022 or any of the previous years?
I feel like we've grown every year. To be honest with you, the golf course has stayed really busy. We've kind of went up in rounds each year. I've seen exponential, growth in the golf course itself in the 4 years that I've been there. Just the shape that it's been in. Huge kudos to Anthony Johnson, our head course superintendent, and his staff. They do a fantastic job. But yeah, I mean, we're lucky in this area, to have Lake Manitou and being kind of centralized in the middle of, kind of Michigan area, South Bend area, Chicago. We get a lot of traffic from those areas, so I consider us pretty lucky in that aspect. And yeah, 2023 was a great season. It's we seem to be growing each year, so we're looking forward to 2024 and continue that growth pattern.
Now, were there any things in 2023 that you introduced to the golf course out there? Was there any new clinics, any new events, anything different from years prior?
We did add one new league on Wednesdays. Other than that, everything kind of stayed the same as far as the leagues. We have leagues Monday through Thursdays. We did do the junior clinic again last year. That wasn't something that's new, but it is over the with this being year number 4 for me. It's kind of gained more traction each year. And last year for the junior clinic, we averaged 29 to 31 kids each day for the junior clinic.
That's
so
great.
That made me super proud and ecstatic to. I love dealing with those kids and seeing them, being so excited to come out and play the game of golf. So,
yeah. That's such a pivotal thing in the sport. You got to teach individuals at a young age golf. Or you don't have to. You can get into golf, I guess, at any age, but if you can get them in at a young age.
Yeah, and it's kind of like any sport for that matter. You get them drawn in at an early age, and they're kind of hooked for life,
right.
And you know as well as I do with golf. It's something that you can experience your entire life,
yes.
and it's not just the sport of it. Golf teaches you a lot far as self-honesty and integrity and being true to yourself, and it helps you mentally grow as a person. And there's a lot of things that I've done in my life, from a business aspect, being in the medical field and on the golf course. There's a lot of business opportunity on the golf course as well.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
It definitely opens up a lot of opportunities starting at an early age in life.
Yeah, and I can see your passion for installing that and teaching that in young kids.
Oh yeah, like I said, anybody that knows me, including you and all the golf coaches, they know that I'm a huge advocate to getting these kids involved, and that's why I do these junior clinics and try to schedule different junior events at the golf course as much as possible to try to get them going early.
Speaking with Lee Cutting this morning, he's the head golf professional at the Round Barn Golf Club at Mill Creek. So looking at 2024, we're almost at the end of March, if we can believe it or not. What's on the docket for 2024? Any new events, clinics, anything that people around Rochester and surrounding areas can look forward to this year that maybe they haven't seen at the golf course?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, we added the new league on Wednesdays there, so we've got leagues every day from Monday through Thursday. I would encourage you, if you have interest in any of the leagues, to please swing down and see us at the Pro Shop. Keep an eye on our Facebook and also our website. We've got a lot of different outings coming up this year. We've got a lot of different school outings, booster club outings, things like that. That I would encourage them to keep an eye on our website and Facebook there as well. We do a lot of support to the school systems. For instance, Rochester High School, we have a tournament for the girls basketball team, a tournament for the football team, a tournament for the wrestling team, and a tournament for the boys basketball team as well, in support of trying to raise extra money for those kids, for those different programs. Also with Tippy Valley, that's kind of a new one that we're adding this year. Tippy Valley Booster Club reached out to me. They're going to have an outing on Saturday, June 15th. So again, to kind of support, as some of them know, some people know, some people don't. We have 3 total schools that play golf that as with Round Barn as their home course. So Tippy Valley High School, Rochester High School, and the Rochester Middle School all play as Rochester Round Barn as their home course. So we're looking to do everything that we can to kind of help support them, raise extra money for their programs, get them involved, and beyond that, I've watched these kids with me being there 4 years. I've watched these kids kind of come into the program, blossom, and some of them are even seniors this year, which is really cool for me to see. We've got our girls program, for instance, last year only missed being at state by 2 shots, and they had a really couple unfortunate breaks at their last event that they probably should have gotten there, but some of those unfortunate events were out of their hands.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see they've got 2 seniors returning this year, in Ella McCarter and Ava Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
They did lose Peyton Moore, but her younger sister Molly, I think, is coming in this year, if I remember correctly. I'm there on a daily basis, so I see these girls, out there working their tails off to get better, and they have that drive, and they know what they missed out on a little bit last year, so they want to they have high expectations for themselves, and I'm really excited for them to see them grow and see what they can do this year. Same thing with the boys team. They've got 4 returning seniors and Noah Riffle, J.R. McLaughlin, Robert Bazo, and Enrique Navarro. I think they can do big things as well. Tippy Valley's got 1 returning senior and Eli Love. But they to me, it's just it's a sense of pride a little bit to see these teams grow, and I want to make their lives as blessed as possible in the aspect of having the Round Barn as their place to be call their home track, and for us to do everything we can to support them.
Absolutely. Now, you were talking a few minutes ago about Anthony Johnson, the head superintendent there,
yes,
and his staff. And I think people forget it takes a whole team to run a successful golf course.
It does.
And Anthony and his staff has done a great job. And how many staff members currently does Round Barn Golf Club have?
So Anthony and his team outside, I think he's got about 8 employees on his staff, including himself. And like you said, they do so much there. I can't sing praises enough to them.
Because a lot of it's done probably before people are even out there on the golf course.
Yeah, they're up in the morning, a lot of times mowing in the dark to get the course ready so that it's ready when individuals want to tee off at 7:30.
Right.
So yeah, I can't say enough about the job that they have done, and just the different programs that they've implemented on agricultural things out there, and the just the leaps and bounds that I've seen the course come in 4 years that I've been there. But yeah, so to answer your question, Anthony employs 8 staff, including himself on the outside maintenance staff. For me in the pro shop, I usually employ 4 to 5 desk employees, which they have to be 19 as a requirement to be able to serve on the liquor license. And then I also look for generally 4 to 6 cart kids on a daily basis. So we are presently accepting applications. If anybody has any interest, they can come down and see me at the pro shop and fill out an application. And I would love to chat with them more in depth about the opportunity there.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in being a cart kid out there, I recommend doing so. I did that for 2 years when I was younger, so fun job.
It is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Job.
Yep. And it gives them the opportunity to spend more time on the golf course.
Yeah, especially if they like golf, it's the perfect job.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
So, and Lee, as we wrap up here, I got one last question for you. This is kind of a broad question, but what's the typical day look like for yourself as the head golf professional around Barn? I know that probably varies from day to day of if you're holding an event or a tournament or whatnot. But
sure, yeah. Obviously, like you said, Tanner, you hit the nail on the head. It's it's on a daily basis. It can tend to differentiate. Yeah, vary. For the most part, I try to do most of my administrative stuff, bookkeeping type stuff, before it gets light out, so that way I can kind of focus on the golf side of things and doing lessons and and it's not just. There's so many different things behind the scenes, like when it comes to golf. Doing custom fittings, potentially doing grips for people, changing out shafts, whatever it might be, running the leagues and the administrative side of that, planning golf tournaments, meeting with, the coordinators of these golf tournaments to make sure that we've got all our ducks in a row prior to. Like this year, we're doing a really fun Ryder Cup event against Rock Hollow, which has turned out to be this just monstrosity of I wouldn't say a monstrosity, but it's turned into what was once a small event. Now we've got 30 guys almost on each side that are really gunning for each other. Sure. So it's really turned into kind of a fun event. Just a lot of behind the scenes planning, things like that. Working with area businesses and junior county type tours. That's another fun thing about that is I get to help plan these junior events. For instance, like Marshall County Junior Tour, the Little City Tour, and with this being year number 4 for me, we've got this year we've got the IGA coming to town, which is huge for me. I've been working on this for the last couple of years, trying to get the Indiana Golf Association to bring this event to Rochester, and we're finally going to get one this year. So. Again, just a lot of, behind the scenes planning, trying to dedicate as much time as possible to the game itself, and still trying to keep my skills honed a little bit so that I don't look like a fool when I go out on the golf course. So yeah, it's but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the aspect of teaching and you know, doing the lessons, and I just love everything about the game. So it's to me it's a daily challenge, but I love every minute of it.
And if somebody wants to get a hold of you about potentially working at the golf course, if they have any questions about equipment or anything, how can they get a hold of you?
I would encourage them to call the Pro Shop at area code 574-223-5717. As well as, you know, if you can't get a hold of us at the Pro Shop, it's after hours. My personal cell phone is on the answering machine. And my staff have all been, you know, informed that, you know, please don't hesitate to give my cell phone out to people because I'm an open book. So I like to text, I like to, you know, phone calls, whatever is easiest for you. I like to keep their lives as easy as possible. So with that being said, call the Pro Shop. If I'm not there, they'll give you my cell phone number. They'll come out on the course and find me wherever I might be. We'll make it happen.
And like the golf course Facebook page as well, so you can keep up on the latest events going on out there. So.
Yep.
Well, Lee, thank you for everything you do, not only for the golf course, but for the community of Rochester. I mean, like you said, Rambar Golf Club, Emerald Creek's a hidden gem for this community, and big asset for the community for visitors coming in, and for the residents itself. I mean, it's a very nice municipal golf course.
It is. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, I gave you all sure to think about this, so it's crunch time now. Golf balls
You
were...
didn't give me any clues throughout the show.
Well, that might have been strategic on my part.
Use your gut, Paul.
Golf balls were originally made from what? Wood, feathers, and leather, rubber, or gutty?
Well, but even before you said that, the only thing that made sense to me was gutty.
Lee, any answers?
You know, I was super torn between wood and gutty because I think the original form of a golf ball was made out of wood. So instinct would tell me wood, but I think you're right in saying gutty.
Todd, any guesses?
Feathers.
Feathers? It's wood.
It is
It
wood.
would. So the timeline I found, and I found multiple timelines, but the most consistent was it went from wood to feathers and leather to gutty
Okay.
to then more of a rubber
Okay.
to what we have now.
I led you astray, Paul.
So,
That's okay.
I'm
That's
sorry,
okay.
buddy.
I was pulling for gutty even before you said use your gut. So, I mean, I had zero clue.
but golf balls have been made of all those components, so
Yeah.
just one.
We were right in one way, shape, or form.
Yes. Well, let's close with some words of wisdom from Bobby Jones, one of the greatest golfers of all time, especially in the amateur. Competitive golf is played mainly on a 5.5-inch course, the space between your ears. And I think that can go for a lot of aspects of life as well, not just golf.
Absolutely, I agree with that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much,
Thank you, Paul.
and we'll see you again next week.
Be here. Thanks, Paul.